Well, hello, my wonderful broskis of the Maverick Nation, and change of location because it got really dark really fast. So, this is going to be the first part of the 12-part Christmas What If. So, yeah. Oh, what the dad? I can't see.
Hey, Mom, comes on that black pen, or does it just stay dark? Comes on that, whatever you charge it. It's in there plugged up. Whether it works or not, okay? In there, plugged up. There you go.
Well, then, just saying. This is going to be the first part
Yeah.
of
I'll work.
the Christmas What If. And some of you may be wondering what the Christmas What If is.
Thinking your personal hygiene's in here on the counter.
The Christmas If is what if the big three saved Christmas? Yeah, you heard me, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Mm, I cannot do it like that. Nope, nobody, nope. I don't care if it's dark as balls. I do not care if it is dark as balls. I I cannot record in those conditions. I can't record in them. I cannot record in those conditions. So now we are properly starting off the Christmas What If. What if the big three saved Christmas? And if you don't know what I'm talking about whenever I say big three, well, as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos long enough, if you've been around my channel for long enough, I am an anime geek. Like an anime nerd. So basically, whenever I hear the big three, like shonen, I know what people mean whenever they say that. They mean Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Those are the big three. So basically, I'm just saying, what if the big three saved Christmas? Like, if we got Christmas involved into this, how exactly would this happen? Well, teleportation. Why not? Apparently, it got lighter on one end. I guess the lights finally kicked on. You know, you know. The first thing I would want to do is explain, teleportation. The bad guy of this is going to sort of be like a celebration. It's going to be Krampus. Anyone who knows like a good deal about their Christmas lore would probably know about Krampus. But you know what? You know, Krampus, he's a bad dude. He's like the anti-Santa Claus. Instead of giving kids presents, he pretty much murders them and does all sorts of other bad stuff. murder, torture, all sorts of bad shit. And anyways, the whole plot thing would basically be revolving around like Krampus finally getting his one chance. Like he's basically been stuck to the South Pole for most of eternity, and Santa Claus is chilling up in the North Pole, and so Krampus finds a way to make like a portal into the North Pole, and basically to nab Santa Claus, and you know put him in some sort of prison cell so he can basically rule over Christmas and decides what to do with the holiday. And we don't want that. We don't want Santa. We don't want Krampus to be the one who rules over what Christmas is all about. We don't want that because Krampus is not a very nice creature of the holidays. He's not a very nice creature of holidays. Not at all. Literally, murder and torture. Yeah, that should be the first sign that something's off. So, why exactly would the big three be involved in this? Well, other than I thought it was awesome, and starting at the 13th and going up to the 25th, the 12 days of Christmas. That's why I would be doing that. You know, so yeah, 12 parts, 12 days of Christmas. Basically, uh, elves are like magical because Santa's magical, so they would like find a way to like use some sort of teleportation magic to get like notes, like written notes to everyone, like the three strongest like universes to like get like the three strongest kinds of fighters to like help like set everything right. So yeah, that would be the elf's plan in order to make sure that everything doesn't go haywire this Christmas. Like this Christmas of 2020. In order to make sure it doesn't go haywire, that would be their plan to like send notes to like the three strongest like types of fighters, so that they could like defeat Krampus and set everything right. Uh, Ow, shit. Ah, crap. Uh, Sorry about that, ladies and germs. A little bit of an itch. A biatch of an itch. Anyways, basically, it would be Naruto and Jiraiya because the Naruto I'm using for this is going to be mid time skip Naruto. So Naruto after part 1 but before Shippuden. Basically, that's why I said mid time skip Naruto. And he would be with Jiraiya, so of course Jiraiya would come with. So Naruto and Jiraiya, and like concerning Bleach, I would basically have like it's set kind of like how like the Ankara arc was set. Like basically Ichigo, Uryu, Chad, Orihime, and maybe Rukia and Renji. Maybe Rukia and Renji. Maybe, just maybe. Kind of like the Hellverse, how the Hellverse was set. It's kind of like how the Ankara arc was set. So yeah, and like what versions of these characters I'm using. Seeing as Naruto, like Ichigo, are they're like the focus of their series. I'm mainly going to be focusing on like Ichigo. I'm gonna say he's like a like a this Ichigo is post like and like post Fullbring arc, pre uh Thousand Year Blood War arc, post Fullbring arc, pre Thousand Year Blood War arc. Yeah, so he has his Shinigami powers and his Fullbring powers, but he doesn't have his Quincy powers. So yeah, he has the Fullbring powers and the Shinigami powers, but he doesn't have the Quincy powers. I didn't want to make him too overpowered. Basically, like the only things that he would really have to make himself super overpowered would be like the Transcendence, like fourth Transcendent and fifth Transcendent, which is Mugetsu. And the only other thing besides that would be Vasto Lorde, but that's like if he dies. So, yeah. And the only thing that would be like really OP Naruto would be the Four Tails, because Jiraiya said that during their training he had obtained Four-Tailed State. So that would really be the only like OP Naruto thing I could think. And considering like Jiraiya, seeing he is like one of the three Sannin, like I would only think like it would be considered OP if he went all Sage mode. And whenever speaking about Luffy and like the Straw Hats in general, I'm basically going to have them be like a Dressrosa arc level, like the level of strength they were at when I like during the Dressrosa arc. But the only like change I would have for that would be Luffy's Gear Fourth, if I even let him have Gear Fourth in this, would be like half of what it was whenever he was fighting Don Quixote del Flamingo. So basically, it's half. The Gear Fourth in this is going to be like half of what it was whenever he was fighting the Flamingo. And everyone else would just be their regular Dressrosa arc counterparts. And like regular Luffy and Gear First and Gear Gear Second, Gear Third would be normal for like Dressrosa arc Luffy, but Gear Fourth would be like in half of its actual strength during the Dressrosa arc. So yeah, basically the Straw Hats would be set at Dressrosa level, and basically considering everyone else, like I named off for Bleach Cast, they would be on like Ankara arc level, like their strength of like their abilities during the Ankara and Fake Car Kuratown arc. That's where they would be set, except for Ichigo, because he would have the Fullbring powers fused with the Shinigami powers. He just wouldn't have the Quincy powers, because this is pre-Thousand Year Blood War, but it's post-Fullbring arc. So yeah, that's where I'm setting them. You know, Straw Hats, and then there's Naruto and Jiraiya. You know, Straw Hats and Luffy, because he's the captain of the Straw Hats, and basically, you know, you know, basically Luffy and his crew, and then there's Jiraiya and Naruto, and Ichigo, Uryu, Chad, Orihime, and possibly Ruki and Renji. And Uryu, if I forgot to mention him. But they would be all at like Fake Karakura Town and Karar Arc level. And basically, it's like like Naruto and Jiraiya are like mid time skips. So like after part one ends, but before Shippuden starts. So somewhere in the middle. And Jiraiya would not be using Sage Mode. So no Sage Mode. Like even if he like used a little bit, it would be like half of his actual Sage Mode power. And Naruto's like his most OP thing that he'd be able to do would be Four Tails, because Jiraiya actually said he was able to go into Four Tails. So yeah. But people might be like, what about like a freaking Old Man Zangetsu and Shiro Zangetsu? Like Ichigo's two hollow, like two like Zanpakuto spirits. Like, what if they try to butt in? I'm like basically what I would say for that would be Vastolorde. And Vastolorde, the reason why I'm not really cutting its powers in half, like the Vastolorde transformation, is because that's only if the dude dies. And Ichigo's a tough motherfudger. He can take a lot of punishment, so can Naruto. But the Nine-Tailed Fox is all sorts of crazy, freaking crazy. And concerning Luffy, remember I said it's half of what Gear Fourth was whenever he was fighting Doflamingo. It's basically that, but like in half. And everyone else is basically everyone else would be like Dressrosa arc level. And like Luffy, if he were to go into Gear Fourth, it would be like Dressrosa. They would be like at their point whenever they in the Dressrosa arc. But Luffy, if he were to go into Gear Fourth, which I don't think I really want him to go into Gear Fourth, but if he does, he'll be like at half of what Gear Fourth was whenever he was fighting Doflamingo. So now that we have that straightened out, and how exactly everyone's going to like know about this, like know about like Naruto is a freaking orphan, so he would have never really known the joys of Christmas like everybody else. And so whenever like he was like wondering like about all of this, he would end up like asking Jiraiya, and Jiraiya would teach him all about like the wonders of Christmas. And then like one day they would end up getting a note, and not only that, but whenever Jiraiya just like throws away the note, he'd be like, "It's probably some hack trying to mess with us, like some trying to ambush us." And whenever he would throw away the note, like a portal would pop out of nowhere, and Naruto would be like, "You really think someone's trying to mess with us now?" He'd just be like, Jiraiya would just be like, "I'm too old for this shit." And basically, they would just both go through the portal because why the hell not? I mean, Jiraiya knows he's really tough. Jiraiya knows he's tough, and he also knows that Naruto, if they get in a bind, the Nine Tails power, and he can also summon Gamabunta. So can Jiraiya, and he also has his other Toad summons. So yeah, Jiraiya isn't like too scared. You know, he's pretty much sure that he's got whatever this is covered. And they do end up like in the middle of the North Pole, and like right in front of the gate to Santa's workshop. Like a Santa's big ol' big like work like super castle he has where he does all of his like Santa stuff, and all the elves help out. And then there's all the reindeer, and like Jiraiya's just like, what the shit? He'd be like, what the shit? And Naruto would be like, oh my god, all the stuff you said is true. He'd be like, all the stuff you said is true, Jiraiya. And basically, basically, like, and how exactly Ichigo and everyone else would get there. Well, I'm gonna say that since Ichigo's mother, Masaki, was killed by a hollow, I'm gonna say, like, put a little retcon and say that the day that Masaki was killed was, uh, like, sometime near Christmas. And so Ichigo, like, the stuff that everyone believed about, like, Santa Claus and the reindeer and everything else, like, all of this magical stuff to do with Santa Claus, like, Ichigo sort of felt betrayed, and so he never really believed in Santa after that. And then there's like Karin and Yusu. Basically, he would just be like, they would just think him to be like he's a big stick in the mud. He's not gonna ruin the holiday for us. And whenever Ichigo would like try to take a nap, and he would just hear freaking Shiro. He would just be like, "Man, you really are a dick." And that's coming from me. for guys that don't know, Shiro is the Hollow Get like Hollow Zangetsu is that's what Shiro is. So I'm just gonna call him like Shiro. Shiro would be like, yeah, that was a dick move. That's coming from me. And old man Zangetsu would just be like, whatever the problem is, I assure you that doing this, taking this out on everyone around you, isn't going to solve it. Ichigo's just like, fine, if you guys aren't going to help, then like, basically he's just like, if you guys aren't going to help, he's just like, then I'll just have to, and then like something would explode, and basically there would just be a letter, and then the letter would explode after he would read it, and then basically like there would be like someone like jumping through his window, like it would be like Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. They'd be like, "Whoa, like Ichigo, you all right, man?" And like Ichigo would be like, "Well, I almost lost my head, but other than that, I'm just fine." And he'd be like, "Wait, why am I in my Shinigami form now?" Then he would just like realize like the last few words in like the note were like cries out for help. And he would just be like, "Oh, you are not making me do this. I don't believe in the fat, stupid, whatever. Fine." And Uryu would just be like, "Jeez, and I thought I was the downer." And Chad would just be, "Okay, Orihime, we're coming through the portal." And Orihime would just be like, "Oh, wait for me." And whenever it came down to like the whole One Piece crew and how they would get into the situation, is basically Brook would be doing his usual thing of being the person who does all the music for the crew. He would be doing all his music, and there would just be like a random seagull that would land on the piano, and he'd just be like, "Stupid bird," and he would realize like there was like it was sort of like a messenger bird, and then he would like grab the message, and he'd be like, Captain, I think this is for you." And as soon as like the thing is opened, like they would just hear everything, and then there would just like, be this explosion of light, and like everybody would come in. Like there would be Luffy and Brook because Brook was the one who gave it to him, and there would be Chopper, and there would be like basically it would be Luffy, Brook, Chopper, Nami, Zoro, Sanji, Frankie, Nico Robin. I forget who else, but basically, oh yeah. So what do we do now? Uh, Luffy, uh, Brook, Chopper, uh, Nami, Zoro, Frankie, uh, Nico Robin. I think I got done everybody. I'm not sure, but basically everyone basically just gets teleported in. And Luffy will be like, "Ah, oh, geez, it's cold here." And basically, Team Naruto and Team Bleach would just be like Naruto would just be like, "Who are you?" And Ichigo would be like, "No, who are you?" And Luffy would just like, "Gumu Gumu no," and he would just like catapult him like in between the two of them, and he would just be like, Naruto would have Kunai out, and Ichigo would have his Zangetsu out, and basically Shiro would just be like face palming, and he'd be like, "Oh my god, he can't get along with anyone whenever it's come to this Christmas shit." And Omen Zangetsu or Quincy Zangetsu, basically we should just be like, ugh, at least as long as I'm not involved in it. And Shiro would be like, "Well, technically we're both involved in it. We're both his Zanpakuto." And basically Naruto would have a Kunai out, Ichigo would have Zangetsu out, and basically like freaking he would like about like go into freaking Bankai, and basically that is whenever like Luffy juts in with a freaking bazooka. He'd be like Gomu Gomu no Bazooka, and just like knock Ichigo backwards. And Naruto would be like, "What the hell?" Like he would like the only reason he wouldn't be scathed is because of Kurama's chakra. Like it would protect him from the Gomu Gomu no Bazooka. It would protect him from the Gomu Gomu no Bazooka. And Luffy would be like, "Whoa, you were pretty protected from my Gomu Gomu no Bazooka." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, I think the fox has something to do with that." He'd just basically be like, "Yeah, uh, the fox spirit inside of me kind of has something to do with that." Anyways, I think we're all here for the same reason. And Ichigo would be like, "Yeah, hate to admit it, but the kid's right. Saving Christmas. Whatever. I'm still not convinced." And, Luffy would just be like, "You're not convinced that Santa's real? Man, you're a real stick in the mud, you know that?" And, Ichigo would just be like, "You want to say that again?" And he'd just be like, "Bung!" And then it would be like freaking Naruto would like Shadow Clone Jutsu Rasengan him. Like Rasengan his blade away, like use Rasengan to knock away Zangetsu. And he'd just be like, and like Ichigo would be like, "Kai," and he would be like what the shit? And Naruto would just be like, "So now what?" And Luffy would just be like, "Well, that was a little rude of you, but yeah, you should probably not try to kill those that are trying to help us. I mean, you may not exactly like the guy, but Santa does bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. So, can you at least like help us save him in respects to that?" And Ichigo would just be like, "Fine, you're right, I guess." For everyone else, I'll help you, whatever, save Santa. And Orihime and Chad and Uryu, they'd just be like, "Yes!" And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, freaking I combined Renji and Rukia's names together. Renji and Rukia would just fall out of like a normal Garganta, like one of the Shinigami Gargantas, like the round ones. Like they would just fall out of one, and like Urahara would be there, and he'd be like, "So sorry, I thought I would just like drop you guys off, or I could stick around, help with the problem." And like Ichigo would be like, "What do you mean?" "Well, sing Binahime!" And then like out of nowhere, he would just see like a bunch of freaking nightmare demons, is what he can describe him. Like they don't even look like they're hollows. They just look like they're monsters made of evil, like just made of pure evil. And like he would just be like, "Sing Benihime!" and just smack him aside with his like Zanpakuto Benihime. Like Uehara would have done that. He would like masterclass that shit. And he'd just be like get over to like one of the reindeers that has a red nose, and he'd just be like, "That's okay. It's alright. They're no longer around here to hurt you." And he'd just be like, "I'll stay around here with these guys and notify the captains and lieutenants about the situation. So, yeah, you should probably go." And Ichigo would be like, "Thanks, Ohara." And Rukia would just be like, she'd be pissed because, Ichigo didn't tell him sooner. And Renji would he would hate the fact that he would have to be put in this situation. I mean, come on, he really doesn't have much of a choice. This is like saving Christmas. Saving Santa equals saving Christmas. So yeah, I mean, it's very important. Like a lot of people are made happy by Santa's like actions on Christmas. So he really wouldn't have much of a choice. And Byakuya would be like, "Do you want to get Cinnabon Sakura Kageyoshe again?" And Renji would be like, "No, please." Then you're going like on, and he'd just be like, "Then you're going to go with them to save Christmas, like save Santa Claus, thus saving Christmas." Like that, basically, Byakuya would say something like that. Like, unless you want to get Simba and Sakura Kageyoshe again, you're going to go with them to save Santa Claus, thus, therefore, saving Christmas. And he'd basically just be like, just signal if you need help. You just like give him a little thing, like a little whistle, like basically a whistle that's like full of like spiritual pressure. And so whenever he whistled, they would like jut out spiritual pressure and let the captains and lieutenants know that they are kind of on a losing foot. So basically, the whistle is basically their SOS button for like the Bleach characters and everyone else, because the captains are ridiculously strong. So yeah, I'm gonna say that's where I'm gonna end it off for part one, because we basically established everything pretty much, like how everything's going down. So yeah, part one to be done. Our first day of Christmas has now set a close. Adas.